Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by asking you this. Have you ever thought about who you're building your life with? Not just someone to stand by your side, but someone who holds the brick steady while you lay the foundation for your future. Marriage is sacred. It's a covenant, not a convenience. It's a partnership, not a performance. And yet so many people find themselves tied to someone who looks good in the moment but cannot grow with them in the future. So tonight, let's talk about the people you should never, ever marry. First, never marry someone who dismisses your dreams. If they can't see the vision God placed in your heart, they'll never help you water it. Don't let their small-mindedness suffocate the greatness within you. Second, don't marry someone who runs from accountability. A person who can't admit when they're wrong will drag you into cycles of chaos. Marriage thrives on humility, not pride. Third, never marry someone who disrespects others. The way they treat the waiter, their family, or even strangers tells you how they'll treat you in moments of difficulty. Disrespect is a seed that grows into bitterness. Fourth, don't marry someone who sees you as an option instead of a priority. If they can't commit now, they won't commit later. Love requires consistency, not convenience. Fifth, run from anyone who manipulates your emotions. Love isn't about control, it's about freedom. If they twist your words or guilt trip you, that's not love, that's bondage. Six, never marry someone who avoids responsibility. A life partner should be someone you can rely on, not someone you have to carry. Your marriage should be a two-way street, not a solo journey. Seventh, don't settle for someone who doesn't share your values. Purpose partners pull in the same direction. If you're building a castle, don't marry someone who's comfortable living in a shack. Finally, don't marry someone who doesn't honor your worth. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Don't lower your standards because of impatience or insecurity. The right person will see your value and rise to meet it. Family, let me leave you with this. The person you marry will shape your life in ways you can't even imagine. So choose wisely. Don't be driven by fear, loneliness, or the ticking of a clock. Trust the timing of God and trust that He is preparing you for someone who will love you as He does, fully, fiercely, and faithfully. Remember, it's better to wait alone in purpose than to be tied to someone who pulls you out of alignment. So let's make this promise together. We will never, ever settle. Amen. Let me start by asking you this. Have you ever thought about who you're building your life with? Not just someone to stand by your side, but someone who holds the bricks steady while you lay the foundation for your future. Because here's the truth, who you choose to marry will impact every part of your life, your peace, your purpose, your faith, your family. This decision isn't just about love, it's about alignment. Now, I know love can make us blind sometimes. We see the smile, the charm, the promise of what could be, and we get caught up in the moment. But tonight, I want to challenge you to look deeper. Love is more than butterflies and good chemistry. Love is responsibility, it's sacrifice, it's building something that lasts through the storms. And if the person by your side can't weather the rain, they certainly don't deserve to stand with you in the sunshine. Let me be real with you. Too many people settle for partners who were never meant to journey with them. They confuse companionship with compatibility. They mistake temporary comfort for true connection. But hear me clearly, family, who you marry will either magnify your purpose or muffle it. They will either push you toward God's promises or pull you away from them. So tonight, let's not talk about surface level qualities. Let's not focus on appearances, careers, or smooth words. Let's go deeper. Let's talk about the kind of partner who builds with you, who grows with you, who prays with you. And just as importantly, let's talk about the kind of partner to avoid the people who look good in the picture but can't stand the test of time. Because you are building something divine, and not everyone is fit to hold a hammer in your life. Marriage isn't just a milestone, it's a mission. It's not just about finding someone to complete you, it's about partnering with someone who complements the call on your life. It's about purpose, it's about alignment. It's about being so secure in who you are and what God has placed inside you that you don't let just anyone into the sacred space of your heart. This isn't a fairy tale, this is real life. Marriage will test you, stretch you, and shape you. It's not about perfection, it's about partnership. And you can't afford to build something as precious as your future on a shaky foundation. Imagine trying to construct a house with someone who doesn't even know how to hold a blueprint, let alone read one. That's what happens when you choose a partner who doesn't share your values, your vision, or your faith. And let me tell you something about trust and respect. They aren't optional. They're the pillars that hold the entire structure together. You can't build a covenant on dishonesty. You can't build intimacy where there's a lack of respect. Marriage requires a partner who not only sees your worth but actively protects it. Someone who doesn't just hear your dreams but speaks life into them. Someone who doesn't compete with your purpose but cheers you on as you run toward it. This isn't about looking for perfection in someone else. It's about pursuing alignment. It's about asking yourself, can we pray together? Can we grow together? Can we weather the storms together? Because storms will come. Life will throw its tests and trials. And when that happens, you need a partner who can stand firm, not someone who folds at the first sign of trouble. Family, this isn't just about who you're marrying, it's about what you're building together. A marriage isn't made up of just vows and rings, it's made up of moments, decisions, and sacrifices. It's the quiet acts of love when no one's watching. It's the grace you show one another on your worst days. It's the way you pick each other up when life tries to knock you down. And for something as sacred as that, you can't just say yes to anyone. You have to choose wisely. You have to choose purposefully, because when it's built right, marriage isn't just a partnership, it's a promise fulfilled. Now let's get into it, the people you should never ever marry, because while love is powerful, love alone is not enough to build a lasting marriage. The truth is, some people look good in the beginning but aren't meant to go the distance with you. And if you're not careful, you'll end up tied to someone who pulls you away from your purpose instead of pushing you toward it. So let me give you the checklist. These are the red flags, the warning signs, the traits you cannot ignore. First, never marry someone who dismisses your dreams. If they can't see the vision God placed in your heart, they'll never help you bring it to life. Your partner should be your biggest supporter, not your loudest critic. If every time you talk about your goals, they roll their eyes, change the subject, or make you feel small, that's not a partner. That's a distraction. Your dreams are sacred. Protect them. Second, don't marry someone who refuses accountability. If they can never admit when they're wrong, if every argument turns into blame shifting, if apologies are always one-sided family, listen to me, that is not someone you can build with. A strong relationship requires humility. It requires both people to own their mistakes and work to grow. Without accountability, there's no growth. Without growth, there's no future. Third, watch how they treat other people. Let's be real, sometimes we ignore the red flags because we're so focused on the comfort someone brings us in the moment. Maybe they make you laugh, or they're always around when you need them. Maybe they fill a void that you've been carrying for years. And while that comfort feels good, it's a dangerous trap if it blinds you to the truth. Because comfort can't cover up a character that doesn't align with your purpose. Comfort can't build a future when the foundation is cracked. Those red flags you see, they're not just decorations, they're warnings. They're God's way of whispering, pay attention, my child. This isn't the one I have for you. But we push those warnings to the side, don't we? We tell ourselves maybe it's just a phase, maybe they'll change, maybe I can help them grow. Listen to me, you are not anyone's rehabilitation center. Love can inspire change, but it cannot force it. And marrying someone on the hope that they'll become who you want them to be is a recipe for heartbreak. Sometimes we hold on because we're scared to let go, scared to be alone, scared that no one better will come along. But can I tell you something? God will never ask you to. Character matters more than chemistry, more than charm, more than the checklist you've been holding on to about how they should look or what they should do for a living. When the excitement fades, when the butterflies settle, when life gets hard, and trust me, life will get hard, it's their character that will determine whether they stand with you or abandon ship. Pay attention to how they handle the small things, because the small things reveal the big truths. Do they keep their word even when it's inconvenient? Do they treat people with kindness even when there's nothing to gain? Do they show integrity even when no one is watching? If they cut corners in life, they'll cut corners in your relationship. If they lie to others, eventually they'll lie to you. If they lack respect for themselves, they won't have the capacity to honor you. And let me say, this character isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about showing up as the same person in private as they are in public, as they are in public. It's about owning their mistakes, learning from them, and growing. A person with good character will choose what's right, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable. That's the kind of partner you need when life tests you. Someone who won't run from responsibility or fold under pressure, but who will hold their ground and fight for what you've built together. Character is also about how they handle your heart. Are they patient with you when you're vulnerable? Do they protect your insecurities instead of using them against you? A partner with strong character will honor you, not just with words, but with actions. They'll value your time, your trust, and your presence. They won't manipulate, they won't take you for granted, and they won't leave you questioning where you stand. So many people get caught up in the surface, the way someone looks, the way they talk, the way they make you feel in the moment. But family, don't be deceived by appearances. Looks can fade. Words can lose their meaning. Feelings can change. But character is the foundation that lasts. When you marry someone with good character, you're choosing a partner who will show up for you, grow with you, and honor the covenant you build together. That's the kind of love worth waiting for. Marriage isn't just about love, it's about purpose. It's not just about finding someone to walk with, it's about finding someone who is heading in the same direction. A purpose partner isn't just a spouse, they are a teammate, a builder, a warrior who fights alongside you as you pursue the life you were created to live. There's someone who not only understands your calling, but actively supports and elevates it. When you're aligned with a purpose partner, your marriage becomes more than just a relationship, it becomes a mission. Together, you can build something that impacts not just your home, but the world around you. But here's the thing, you can't fulfill your purpose if you're tied to someone who's walking a completely different path. You can't soar if you're linked to someone who's content with crawling. Purpose requires alignment, and alignment requires discernment. Pay attention to their vision for the future. Do their dreams complement yours? Do their values align with the principles you hold dear? Because marriage isn't just about physical attraction or emotional connection, it's about spiritual compatibility. Can you pray together? Can you dream together? Can you face the challenges of life and still pull in the same direction? If the answer is no, then no matter how strong the feelings, it's not a partnership, it's a detour. A purpose partner doesn't compete with you, they complete the mission with you. They're not threatened by your success, they celebrate it. They don't silence your voice, they amplify it. They don't pull you away from your faith, they draw you closer to it. That's the kind of partner who can help you build a marriage that lasts, a marriage that thrives, a marriage that fulfills the plan God has for your life. And let me tell you something about timing. Waiting for the right person is always better than rushing into a relationship with the wrong one. It might feel like everyone else is moving ahead, like the clock is ticking, but don't let impatience push you into a partnership that isn't aligned with your purpose. Trust that when the time is right, God will bring someone into your life who is not only ready to love you, but is ready to run with you. Someone who will not only hold your hand, but will hold the vision. Someone who will not only share the journey, but will share the burden and the blessing. When you marry a purpose partner, you're not just building a life together, you're building a legacy. That's the kind of love worth waiting for. That's the kind of partnership worth praying for. And when you find it, you'll know it wasn't just love, it was destiny. Let's talk about your worth, because before you can choose the right partner, you have to first recognize your own value. You have to know deep down in your soul that you are worthy of a love that honors you, respects you, and celebrates you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You are not just anybody. You are uniquely crafted, fearfully and wonderfully made, carrying gifts and purpose that no one else can bring to this world. That kind of worth demands a love that is worthy of you. Too often we settle for less because we doubt ourselves. We think maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe I should just take what I can get. But family, let me remind you, settling for less than you deserve will never lead to happiness. It will only lead to heartache. Love is not about lowering your standards to accommodate someone else's shortcomings. It's about holding firm to the truth of who you are and trusting that the right person will meet you at that level. Don't let loneliness trick you into believing that your value is tied to your relationship status. Don't let someone else's inability to see your worth make you question it. The wrong person can never validate the treasure that you are. That validation has to come from within, from a place of knowing that your worth was established long before anyone else's opinion came into play. It comes from knowing that your Creator doesn't make mistakes and that you are a masterpiece exactly as you are. And listen to me carefully, waiting for the right person isn't about being perfect, it's about being. So here's where we land. Love is beautiful, marriage is sacred, and choosing a partner is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. But let me leave you with this: don't settle. Don't let fear, loneliness, or the ticking of a clock convince you to compromise on the vision God has for your life. You were not created to live halfway, to love halfway, or to build halfway. You deserve a love that uplifts, strengthens, and aligns with your purpose. Take the time to prepare yourself for the love you're praying for. Work on your heart, your faith, and your character, so when the right person comes along, you'll recognize them not just by how they make you feel, but by how they honor who you are. Trust the process, trust the timing. And most importantly, trust that God's plan for you is bigger and better than anything you could ever imagine. Family, your heart is too valuable to give away carelessly. Your purpose is too significant to share with just anyone. So hold on to your worth. Stand firm in your faith. And know that the right love will come not in your time, but in His. And when it does, it won't just feel good. It will be good. It will be right. It will be divine. So let's commit to this together. We will choose wisely, we will wait patiently, and we will love purposefully. Because anything less is not just a mistake, it's a distraction from the greatness we are called to. Amen.